sound on a little bit there. Vibrate.
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to our second episode of Playing with Crystals.
Yay!
We've already been playing with crystals today quite a bit, and we just decided we needed to go live with it and explore more. We actually we started today by meditating with indigo aura quartz and aqua aura and rainbow. Not rainbow
Angel
aura.
aura.
Angel aura. Losing my mind. And we recorded that, and we'll share that with you at some point. But then at some point, the camera died right as we were about to get into Natural Citrine, and it was so amazing that we just wanted to do that again. And we're like, It's 2 weeks since the last time we did this, and we did it on a Saturday. And even though we're not necessarily planning to go forward with Saturdays,
here we are.
Here we are.
Wait,
so,
it was a week ago. Was it 1 week ago? It was.
It was Earth Day. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
No concept of time.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 weeks ago.
No concept of time.
Yes, it was definitely because Ariel asked me if we were going live last Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And then she asked again.
Okay.
Hi, Ariel, if you're on. If you are on, I can probably see at least if you make a comment, you can say hello. But we told no one, so except Ariel last minute that we were doing this. But hi, I'm Laurelle. I am the proprietor and founder of 5 Sense Healing and the Faerie Den. We are currently in the Faerie Den, but we're in the area where people sit and
we're in
cry.
The lounge area.
Sit and cry and talk about their troubles or ask questions about crystals. Anyway, a lot of wonderful moments happen on this sofa. And we are, of course, on the floor in the middle, which is where we usually are when we sit and play with crystals, which is the inspiration for this series. Meryl's really the one who brought it up, but we feel like a lot of people get the crystals and they just don't know what to do with them. And people make it into this big thing, and really it's not. It's very simple. And so we want to encourage you to do that. But besides having the Faerie Den, which is a shop of beautiful crystals, which I can maybe later turn the camera around for you to see. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't know, but you can also head over to Instagram at the Faerie Den, the same spelling, Faerieden, the Faerie Den on Instagram. Hi, you guys. Because we're on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, I forgot we were.
We're live on both. We're live.
But
we're focusing on the YouTube for this series.
I'll focus on you guys too.
But I do healing therapies and consultations, and I have the shop, and it's all based around how connecting with the natural world so that you can more greatly connect with yourself, coming home to yourself and the natural world. Same idea. That's what I do. And
well, what do? I am Maryl, and I am of Joy Blended Healing, and you can join me on Instagram too and see my grids. I create crystal grids mostly. This is a really simple one that I was just playing with for maybe a springtime grid. But
and why were you playing with the crystals today?
I was playing with the crystals because we're thinking of putting together a package, a little grid package. Is that what you were thinking?
No.
Oh, I don't know what you were thinking.
Well, you said it perked you up once you started playing.
It actually
eclipse.
Did.
Today is the eclipse. Oh, it's Friday. It's not even Saturday.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, yes, we're putting together a package, and I was playing with the crystals, and I started feeling better because I woke up this morning. Yesterday I felt like crying. Today I felt like crying. It's been kind of like a weird emotional time. And I was sharing with Laurelle that I was feeling better, like playing with this simple little grid. And then we started playing with the crystals, and as we do, and all of a sudden it really changed my disposition, and I can feel already it's going to start changing yet again because the eclipse is really hitting me. So, a little challenging, but it's all good.
Well, I want to come back to you further introducing yourself, but just a moment. Just a moment on, today is the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And so a lot of people are just feeling, they just feel like they want to cry because there's a lot of deep emotions that are coming up, a lot of things maybe around emotional power plays with people in your family or friends, or in your job, anywhere where there is a place where maybe you've been giving your power away or not claiming your own power, or if you have been the one that's been trying to take power from someone else, maybe suddenly, all of a sudden, they're like, no, you can't do that anymore. So we're getting these power plays happening. Secrets might be being revealed. There can be sudden changes that will happen, and new ways of communicating, perhaps, that could be coming in through this eclipse energy. But one of my favorite, I have probably at the moment, I have two favorite astrologers to listen to. One is Pam Gregory. We love Pam Gregory.
We love Pam Gregory.
She's a proper British woman,
yes,
with pink pillows behind her, and
oh,
she just
amazing.
lays it out.
I love her.
She's amazing. But Molly McCord is another one, and both of these people are on YouTube. They're wonderful to listen to. They always give me fresh insights, and they're also more tuned to the kind of astrology I do, which is spiritual astrology, intuitive astrology, evolutionary astrology, which is how do you look at what you need to look at in order to make your life better and operate with more ease and grace, but all towards your spiritual development as a soul, as a being. And so they have that as well. But Molly McCord, she puts these cute little memes on Instagram. And today she had one that was,
look at the
I know, I'm like,
camera.
Instagram. What was the actor's name?
Oh, with was it Bruce Willis?
No.
Who was it?
It's The Rock.
Oh,
it was
Rock.
The Rock.
I don't know anybody.
I think it was The Rock.
Yeah, don't trust me. I honestly, I don't know squat.
Anyway, he's like, don't cry. Don't cry. Just don't cry. That was like the mantra. It was so funny.
It was perfect.
And it was like how everybody's feeling today, basically. Don't cry.
God.
Just don't cry.
And that's exactly what I was telling myself this morning. I was out drinking coffee and I was like, don't cry. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. So, and then Laurelle showed me that.
So in a way, this is an eclipse in Scorpio special. If you are home and you're like trying not to cry,
join us.
Yes, then join us and
we'll
grab a crystal. It doesn't matter what it is. We're going to be starting out with these natural citrines.
Wait, I didn't talk about
we're going to get to you.
Oh, all right.
So you can grab these citrines.
Yeah.
But we'll probably also do other stuff too. We'll just go
Instagram.
with the flow. Oh, okay, go.
I'm gonna
and
show,
then we'll have Meryl properly introduce herself because I
never know
interrupted.
how. Sorry, Insta people. I don't know how far to keep
Down
this.
a little, maybe.
Down.
There, yeah. Just make sure.
So new at this, so I'm really not experienced. But anyway.
Also, I have the camera not flipped toward us. That was probably not smart.
So, yeah.
Yes, please introduce
I'm going to
yourself.
introduce myself now.
Thank you.
I'm kidding. So anyway, I create grids, and we're coming up with a grid kit for spring. And so this is just my little play board for that. And what else do? I do elixirs. I make gem elixirs that are, I call them now cosmic gem waters, because it came to me on a vision board. So I thought it was so brilliant because they're all activated with cosmic events, talk about the astrology. I've been learning about astrology from Pam Gregory, Laurelle, others. And so I'm kind of like capturing that energy and putting that into the elixirs as well. In fact, I want to, so I was going to say I want to take some.
Oh, yeah. Do you?
But no, it's
here.
later. So
which one do you want to take?
I know. I'm going to take some of this. So,
we talked about this a little bit last night on the Beltane live sale for those of you who attended.
Oh, this doesn't have a label. This is just one that I gave Laurelle to try out.
Yes, we're just going to try spring forward. But do you want to talk about how to work with them?
Sure. So the just the down and dirty with these elixirs that they are intended for external use only. I personally break the rules, and I like, because I made them and I take them sublingually under my tongue. I like to take them, a couple of drops every few hours, and or I put them in water. I'll put like 6 drops in a glass of water and drink it for, however many hours and then refill my water and put some more in. But my favorite way of using these are in the bathtub. And I get a lot of information and downloads from them because they just are very energetic. So Spring Forward is really about taking that leap forward, no matter what's going on around us, right? No matter if we feel like crying or not.
Can I sing the song?
Yes.
Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
I was meditating, and I don't know if anybody saw the movie Finding Nemo, but Dory sings this song, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. And that was the message that came through, is just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. It's okay, keep going. There's stuff that's going to be coming at us possibly today. You know, you might feel like crying today, who knows, but just keep going. It's okay. And so I'm going to take some now.
It really is like swimming right now because it's Scorpio.
Right?
Deep water. So you're putting yours in there.
I'm putting some in my tea, which is maybe not the best thing to do because the Spring Forward is very activating. And I get jittery when I take it sometimes, like I had caffeine, and so I am putting it in my caffeinated beverage. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But
wait.
Thank you.
Oh, this is Spring Forward Original, so you'll be okay.
Oh, okay. I made 2 versions, so I test everything that I create.
That's why they have these pre-labels on them.
Pre-labels. And so I test everything I create on myself, so I understand how it works. I understand what's going on. I meditate with them, and I get downloads.
And when you use them in the bath, you put 1 dropper full in the bath.
I put a dropper full in the bath. Yeah, thank you.
Maybe that's why you get a lot of information that way, because it's a whole dropper full.
Well,
and you wouldn't want to do that internally.
No, don't take a whole. Actually, less is more. So that's what I've learned. It's like it goes deeper. The less it's. I know it's counterintuitive, but less is more.
No, that's. I want to say that has something to do with homeopathy too.
It does, yeah. It does, right? You're like
you want just a minuscule amount of it, yeah.
And so.
And by the way, these are distilled water, pure distilled water, right? With impressions of the crystals, is how you would say it.
Mm-hmm.
These are,
I say vibrational signatures.
These 2 new that she came up with specifically for last night was the Spring Forward and the Shift and Dream In, and both of these are more than 1 crystal at play.
Yeah.
It's like a grid. You create a grid, and then it's not direct method, which is putting the crystal right into the water.
No,
it's projected in essentially.
Yeah,
right?
I do an indirect method using
indirect
pyramid technology and anyway,
she does a lot of really cool stuff with it, and
they have cosmic.
They're very powerful.
So the
Cosmic Waters,
Cosmic Gem Waters. The Spring Forward has the eclipse. I'm not the eclipse. Oh my gosh, the equinox, the spring equinox energy, and also sunrise. And the Shift and Dream In has the lunar eclipse from November, but it's still even though we're 6 months out, it's still very, very much in play now. That idea of going deep, cleaning out what needs to be cleaned out, packing your bags for new earth, taking what you want with you, and leaving the rest behind. So that was kind of the inspiration of dreaming this new reality without.
One of you are interested in trying any of these. Well, I don't think she has these 2 new ones up on her website, but you can message me, and I will arrange for you to get some, because we do have them here at the Faerie Den for sale.
Exclusively
at the Faerie Den, and also from Maryl and her website. But the way I like to do them is I like to hold the bottle and just center and ground myself, and take a moment to open to the subtle frequencies within the water itself. Like I feel that infuse me. And then I also, because this is how I learned to take gem waters and flower essences, is I take them sublingually as well. But again, you have to do what feels right to you. Oh, pure distilled water.
I'm not allowed to say legally you can do that.
Well, and it's, you have to
and
do
there's
that
a hint of vodka in these.
That's it, the drop of vodka.
So it's a hint of vodka.
It's a 1 drop of vodka, and how big of a batch?
No, it's a couple of little droppers.
Oh.
Just a couple of little. It's less than 2% though.
Less than 2%.
But I did calculate that. But there's a couple. I mean, you can't really taste the vodka. But for those of you who don't want to drink alcohol, I am perfectly happy to make these without alcohol. They're available. I'll just use apple cider vinegar instead. And I like to use these a little differently. What they call succus, which is like kind of banging my vibration into the water. It's
Your intention.
and I bang my intention into the water, and the water, it carries through into the water, and then I take it. I do that a lot, so that's how I prefer to use it. But you don't have to.
Well, no, I love that idea. Sometimes I'm not sure what my intention is. I just want to experience it.
Yeah.
But you said last night, which I found really interesting, that once you sort of get a sense of how it works, then you put your intention into it. It was so organic what you were talking about.
That was for the Dream In. Was once I started kind of doing the work with it, it started giving me information, and with that information, I was able to success things that I wanted to bring in. So success an intention
to help with the shift and
what it is I'm bringing in or what it is I'm letting go of.
Because we are in a time of dreaming things in right now and manifesting. We're at a point this whole year, and some before and after. This whole year is just letting go of the old self, letting go of who you once were, in order to be reborn into who you wish to be now. That's, I can do all these astrology reports monthly, which I'm doing, but honestly, that's like the major theme. I mean, there's also coming more into our own sovereignty, which is the same idea. Dawning into new earth, which is sort of the same idea, because new earth is more about the frequency, shifting the frequency. So it all kind of comes down to letting it all go and coming into the new. And between these eclipses, especially anything that comes up, anything that's significant that comes up for you, that is something that has the opportunity to completely change and be where it's a true ending and a new beginning. So if you feel like perhaps someone's been taking advantage of you in some way, this is the opportunity between April 20th and today, essentially. Although this will continue to affect us over the next 6 months, but anything significant that's come up in these past 2 weeks, really, that's the thing that you're ready to make an ending and a new beginning on for yourself. So just take a note of that.
Yeah.
And now we're going to meditate with crystals.
So if you want any of these, the Faerie Den is the exclusive carrier of these, or you can go to our website, Joy Blended Healing. And I also just wanted to mention too that I'm a certified crystal healer through the Faerie Den. So
she's the reason I started certification. She's like, I want to learn from you. I
learned a lot. So Laurel's an amazing teacher. If you ever have the opportunity to work with her. So, all right, let's play. I know. We love these. Oh, here.
And we weren't even, will you?
I'll do you guys again.
It's not great background here.
Okay, wait a second.
Last time we were at Meryl's amazing place where you could really see, because there were white walls behind us. But these are natural citrine pieces. Now, a lot of times you can get darker natural citrine pieces here.
Oh.
And even darker than these that we're showing you. These are more like a honey color. Here, if I put it in front of my forehead there. This is more like a honey color. But they can get really cognac-y. And you can see this is like darker at the top and more golden as it goes down. And this piece is just more gently golden. And we were talking, it's funny because we already kind of did this, but we were like, we have to put this out.
I need a hand.
Oh.
Okay.
Next time I'll have to clean up better before we start.
It's just me. I'm kind of like a bull in a
the sale yesterday, so there's stuff everywhere. It's a little bit of a mess. But anyway, these when we were picking them up, we weren't. Oh, I was talking about how a lot of times people they always buy the darker pieces. Well, I don't even mean that, but just in the darker natural citrines or the darker heat treated citrines, people tend to go for the darker colors. And I'm like, I don't get it. I have all these light pieces left because people don't go for them as much, but I find them to be so beautiful and magical. And so we both had an experience that we just wanted to share.
So if you have a clear quartz, right?
Yeah,
if you have a clear quartz.
Yes. Go ahead. Say it.
I don't know. You're good at it. Here, we're gonna hold this up to the camera, and if you have a clear quartz at home, you can ask it to
absorb the natural, infuse with the natural frequencies of the stone.
Of these natural citrines. Mine's almost the smoky quartz color, but yes.
A little bit smoky on the citrine, but it's more citrine.
It's more citrine, definitely. And so your quartz will now contain the vibrational signature of the smoky quartz. Oh my gosh, the citrine.
and or if you have a heat treated citrine, you can certainly use that as well. But it's gonna feel different probably. I would rather go with a clear quartz than a heat treated citrine.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll give you another moment to grab a clear quartz if you don't have a natural citrine, or if you have a natural citrine, and
shoot us a line if anybody's out there. Next time I come over there.
Yeah, say hi. We could be talking to no one.
That's okay.
We often do.
No one that you can see.
Right. All right. So just once you have a crystal, just ask it to infuse with the energy of the natural citrine. And let's just take a moment and see what it feels like to you to do that. So just center and ground.
And I'm going to just say, for those who aren't familiar with meditating with the crystals, so we usually put them in our left hand. It's our receiving side. So
yeah, the left side is the feminine or receiving, the right is the masculine or action or giving side. And although if you get really technical, it does switch back and forth. But in general, this is how it's always been seen and used. So you can put it in your left hand. If you're having trouble feeling it, you can use your right hand to close the circuit and send the energy through your right hand up into your body, so you can. Wow, that's more intense.
I use fingertips sometimes. You can do whatever. What did you just do?
It's more intense when I put my hand on it and close the circuit.
And you know what? Actually, Laurelle kind of shared last time that I didn't realize that you did, was that you kind of push it into your hand if you're if you're not feeling it so much.
Yeah, just activate it.
And it really makes a difference. It really makes a difference. So anyway, just wanted to share those little tidbits. Okay.
All right. So take a moment, center and ground. Breathe. Cry if you need to. I'm sorry.
I'm cry.
And just
citrine, I'm not crying.
I know it is. All right. And open your energy to the subtle frequencies. Just feel those energies come up and into your body. Where do they go? How do they flow? How do they feel? And just, you can also ask if there's any message for you.
And I would say, when you're getting a message, whatever's the first thing that comes into your head is probably what it's telling you. Right? And it can be kind of silly.
It often is silly.
Yeah, I just got a silly message.
Well, you want to share?
Yeah. No.
No?
Yeah. No, it's fine. Well, first of all, okay, we were just meditating with these earlier, and I got the similar sensation of this immediate alignment. And this time the energy went, I think it's just, it hits first wherever you're kind of starting the cleansing. It's very cleansing. And this time it went from the bottom up and then down again. So it went above my crown and then back down into my root, down into the earth kind of thing. So it was aligning me and cleansing at the same time. And then I was asking for a message because I started to feel like crying again.
Now?
Yes, I got emotional again. I was like, but I'm holding Citron. What am I doing? I'm holding you. And I was kind of having this little conversation in my head, like, what the F? Like, I don't want to cry. I want to cry. And then I heard the sun will come out tomorrow. So anyway,
we've been getting musical messages all day.
And so it's and I also got to keep on swimming. It's kind of with that spring forward vibration of
well, we're using them with the spring forward, and so it's different this time.
Of course, that's why I heard the keep on swimming and the sun will come out tomorrow. So I feel like it's a really optimistic stone.
Right, very optimistic.
And what we were talking about earlier with each other, without you guys, sorry, was that it really changes the vibration that we're kind of sending out, the frequency that we're sending out. So instead of feeling like crying, I'm like, okay, some a little optimism. And if anybody's kind of familiar, well, it doesn't even have to be law of attraction. I guess it is a law of attraction, though, law of vibration, right? You kind of like vibrational things come into you, right? They're matching your frequency. And so it shifts that. That's what I want to say. So for me, it just shifted me from feeling like crying to feeling optimistic that the sun's going to come out tomorrow. So that's good, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one. So at least I'm kind of neutral now.
Right. Well, yes, because earlier we were recording it for future to put out in the future, but we lost as soon as we got to the streams, we lost it. So I was like, we have to go live.
Yeah.
So, but just speaking to my previous experience, if I can remember correctly, I felt like a clearing. Wait, I said it was coming from, because yours was more heart to root.
Heart to root, heart to crown. Like
right.
That, and it was going like this. And you felt the scanner.
Yeah, I felt the scanner, but second. That was second.
Oh.
It was brightening. It was just brightening first, I think. Maybe in my mind. I'm thinking it was in my mind. It just sort of was cleansing and brightening. And then I felt like a scanner of energy coming down, cleansing my energy field down to like here. And then going again, cleansing my energy field down to here, and then cleansing my energy field. And it was like a scanner going all the way down my body to cleanse. And I was like, it wasn't really opening so much as cleansing and aligning me.
I agree.
And so as it was getting down lower, I just felt this like alignment where I could not do anything but sit up absolutely straight and beam light. I was just beaming light. And it's funny because we've been working with these other heat treated and human created stones before that. And we moved to this and it was like, it was so like, natural. It felt so good. Like there's always a time and a place for every stone and way that these minerals come through in some sense. But this was just so beautiful and so enlightening, aligning, and cleansing, and very optimistic. Do you remember my original message?
Oh no! Was it it wasn't the divine one? That was from. Was it a divine?
It was. Wasn't it the divine?
I thought that was the blue, the aqua aura.
Oh, it was the aqua aura.
We'll have to look at it.
This is the good thing about not having a memory. We're very in the moment. But anyway, so it's hard to regurgitate this stuff. But this time, it's funny. I was like, well, I'm not feeling it quite as much because I felt like we already kind of got that infusion and download before. I mean, it really did kind of feel like not only a cleansing, but a download. And I look at this piece and there are some subtle lines on it, but it's not like, I wouldn't call it, there are lines on 3 faces. So it
was a moving forward. Like I was saying, for that one was like a flame kind of.
I just was shining. It was purifying, shining. Forward. And this time I was like, well, it's not as intense, but I already worked with it. So, but I felt it come in and it was it was sort of telling me, just shine your light. And I kind of felt like it was saying shine your light from your heart, but I was feeling it from my solar plexus. And it's interesting because I often feel shining your light does come from the solar plexus, right?
Yeah.
And it's like beaming out. And I was like, I want to wear this now.
Oh, that's what you're trying to figure out where you want to wear it.
I was like, where do I want to wear it? Earlier, because it just shifted everything. And I just had this bright disposition of looking forward. And so this time it was just saying, just shine your light, just sort of be you and shine your light. And on that note, I'm going to say, you know, I mean, I've been doing this for years. I actually used to be in the theater, and I sometimes will kick myself because I should have been on YouTube doing things like this from the very beginning, because I'm comfortable in this medium. I don't have any problem with this. And I why didn't I do it? It's because of editing. So I'm saying this right now, just to let you know, these are not going to be edited. These are going to be like, maybe we'll pick a start and a stop point when we're not doing lives, but no editing, because if I try to edit, it will never get to you. I have so much content you haven't seen. And I just love us doing it together. It's spontaneous. And I mean, we were doing it anyway, and I'm like, oh, we should just go live.
I mean, this is what we do. And I like, and it's okay. So it's funny, I didn't feel it quite as intensely
this time. Yeah.
But I knew I really needed it. Yeah. So I felt that same action of cleansing, but I did need a message, and I did ask for it, because I was like, oh, why do I feel like crying again? So, but if you're meditating at home with some of these crystals, and don't get frustrated if you don't, you're like, I don't hear it or I didn't feel anything. It's okay. You know, sometimes it's just so subtle in your body. Sometimes you don't feel them at all. Or
sometimes people often, this is something that comes up in classes a lot. They're like, well, how do I know I'm not just making it up? I'm not just imagining it. And I'm like, okay, but you could have imagined like 1,000, a billion other things in that moment. Why are you imagining that? So you've got, there's an element of trust. And once you do it and start trusting it, you can tell the difference between you talking to yourself and messages coming through. It is a very subtle difference, but definitely there is a difference.
It's true. And that's why I say it's often the first thing that comes to your mind, because sometimes it's like, what? It doesn't make any sense at all. And so when it doesn't make sense, sometimes that's when I'm like, oh, all right, that must be it. Because where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may have mentioned this before, but I tend to have something called direct knowing. And for the first 35 years of my life, I thought that was just me and my thoughts. And then once I started exploring this more, I realized, oh, I didn't come up with that. That's information. That's intuitive information that I'm receiving. And I just was finally able to tell the difference between my own thoughts and intuitive information coming through.
And I'm only just learning that maybe I don't have an overactive imagination, which I always thought I did. Because I see things. It's like, oh, I like make believe that this is whatever. But maybe that's not.
It's that bloodline that you've got going on.
Oh my gosh, we have some ancestral work we're doing together with different crystals.
All right, so so by the way, if you are on, and maybe you're not on live with us, but please type in, if you had an experience with the Natural Citrine, just sitting with us.
I'm going to see if anybody.
Type in and let us know what your experience was, or if you used quartz infused with the energy of Natural Citrine. Just let us know what if you had similar or different things, because what we often realize, like today, what can you read it sideways?
People. I think we have people. Hi. Wait, I'm trying to read sideways. I think Rosanna is.
Oh, hi, Rosanna.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't read that well. I don't have great glasses. Sanchez Films? Sanchez Film? No, am I saying that right? I'm so sorry, you guys. My glasses are terrible. Rosanna, hi. She says,
we miss you.
I see you, ladies. Okay, here's my hands. Hi. And then, Roya's on too.
Oh, hi, Roya.
Hi, Yay! Oh my gosh, this is so much fun.
Well, and I wonder if Roya caught the beginning when we talked more about the astrology, but
so we're all like kind of in the living room together.
Yes.
At the Faerie Den. So this is kind of fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so please let us know in the comments if your experience with Natural Citrine was similar or different. I find often that we, like, for instance, we both had the cleansing with it. We both had the major alignment.
Yeah.
We both had the positive affirmation.
Yeah.
What was different was she was feeling it from her heart down
Yeah.
and then up, right?
Yeah.
And I was feeling it from above down, which often we're often different on that. Often she'll feel it lower or no
higher.
You usually feel it higher and I feel it lower.
Which is, but this time I actually did feel it. But this time I even felt it different from before. So the first time we meditated with this off camera, I felt it from the heart like that, right?
Up and down.
Up and down. But this time I felt it definitely starting from the ground up.
Wow.
And then going down again.
So the energy moves differently. Just like when you get an energy healing.
Yeah.
The energy moves differently in the body every time that someone comes. And, like I personally do a thing, and I know you do something different, but I will often start with my hands at the feet, and I'll just see how the energy's running through the body. And you do more of a...
I don't know what I do anymore. I used to start at the head.
Yeah.
Because,
well,
I
it changes.
Reiki, and it changed. And now I do I like to do a high heart, or, and not with my whole hand. Sometimes.
Just with I know,
my
it's really cool.
I get information on my fingertips.
My first session with Maryl, I was like, I didn't know you did past life regression, and she was like, neither did I. It's everything is so organically beautiful, but that's the nature of doing energy work. Yeah,
all of this
it's always a little bit different. The energy is always running different, and there's always messages that come through in regards to that. So
so keep at it. Keep at it. It wasn't, and I never felt like we were looking at some of these other stones. Which one?
Should we do these, or should we do the stones that are in here?
Oh, let's do
What do you want to do?
No, let's do
the stones that are in here.
Which one?
The phenacite. Well, we kind of did it last night, but I don't know that I taught.
Did we do phenacite together? We've done phenacite together.
But not in one of these.
No, that's true. Do we want to do a bottle? Just a bottle?
No, we just. I don't think so. Let's do something that they can also interact with us.
You're right. Okay, we could do bumblebee jasper. What's in here?
This worked so organically when we were just off camera.
Well, that's okay. This is all
well, no, we can either
spring forward. Let's do spring forward.
Okay,
what's in there? I can't remember what I put in there. Oh, the unicorn stone.
Yeah,
let's do that with green. Okay, I have unicorn stone, rutilated quartz. We could do that, or yellow green calcite. So let's do, the unicorn stones. Okay. Wait, I don't want this one. You want that one. I know you do. Do you want one?
Whatever you want. If you want this one, take that one.
Yeah, I want the one with the pink.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Here, we're going to show you how.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to get behind here so I can make sure that I'm showing you guys right.
So you might see a little bit of pink in here. The pink is pink tourmaline. And then there's sort of a smoky purple, like lilac purple color. That would be lepidolite, which is purple mica. And then there's little bits of, this one only seems to have, this.
It's a lot of smoky quartz in these.
Yeah, this has smoky quartz and a little bit of white, which would be moonstone. So it's hard to see the smoky quartz.
There's a little white,
the little bit of white moonstone. And so that's what occurs in these stones are those four minerals, pink tourmaline. Although sometimes you'll also see, I don't know that I've ever seen green tourmaline in a...
I have green tourmaline
in yours?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you have...
I have pink and green in mine.
Pink and green. Okay, so sometimes you'll see pink and green tourmaline. And so tourmaline is very aligning, very cleansing. And it's really good for helping us to marry who we are on the inside to who we show on the outside.
Love that.
Because of the growth pattern of it.
Don't give it away yet.
Oh, no. Well,
don't give it all away.
All right. We'll meditate with it, and then I'll talk to you individually about the stone. Well, because it can be different with our meditation.
That's true. That's true. Sorry.
No, you're probably right. We should probably meditate with it first. Okay, so if you have a clear quartz, ask it to clear from before. If you have a unicorn stone, grab it. But if you have a clear quartz, ask it to clear and just ask it to infuse with the energies of the unicorn stone.
And let us know if you're doing this and if you have any thoughts, any feelings, any sensations. Sometimes it's just sensations too.
I'm a sensation.
Okay.
All right. And just center and gently ground and open your energies to the subtle frequencies. You ready? I'm writing the message down so I don't forget.
Oh, you know, I had such an intense meditation with this at home before I made my elixir, but I have like a page of notes on it.
Yeah.
But and this time, of course, I forgot because I have no memory, and so this time because again, I just want to say I'm seeing everything through a filter of like a little bit of yuck right now, like a little bit of an emotional yuck, and so I just want to clarify that I think that's the healing that I'm needing to receive today from all of these stones that we're working with. So specifically this unicorn stone today, I felt immediately in my heart the tourmaline, and it was kind of like turning and kind of like a washing machine cycle. and then I felt everything kind of like the washing machine then draining down.
Oh.
And so that's kind of what it felt like for me. Like,
so a gentle cleansing?
A gentle cleansing. Like
flushing?
But not a washing machine like an agitator one, like a tumbling one.
Yeah.
Like in the laundromat, gentle. But yeah, that's how I felt. And so it was very cleansing, and I felt energized in my heart. And I heard the keep on swimming again. I think that must be my mantra today. And but
it is the stone that's in this.
It's the main stone.
The main stone in the elixir, yeah.
So that's probably why I keep hearing the same messages. And I also just felt like, again, optimistic, cleansed enough. Maybe not quite as, this was clear optimism. This isn't. This is more like
soft and gentle, right?
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah. So that's why I wrote the message down, because I was afraid I would forget. I just felt like a softening energy, and brightening, but not like bright in the same way. It was just like soft, release, let go. There was something else, but the message I got was,
what is your message?
It's not a big deal.
Love that.
It's not a big deal. And not like, and I'm not really percolating this. Oh, well, now I'm going, oh, maybe that's what it's referring to. But I'm not like upset necessarily in this moment about anything in particular, but just the idea that all of it that goes on, it's not a big deal.
And
this too shall pass. Just, it was very relaxing, brought me to a more chill sort of vibe and space, and just, it's not a big deal. Just let it go. Just let it go. So you got the flushing, and I sort of got this feeling of, it's not a big deal. Just let it flow, let it go, let it flow.
Isn't there like another song? See, I'm singing. Isn't there like what is it? Frozen. Isn't that a song in Frozen? Let It
Oh,
Go?
you know, I don't know the show.
I saw it.
I saw it once.
I saw it once too, so I can't sing the song. But I think it's a song. Let It Go. Anyway.
It probably is. And my musical theater friends are mortified at me right now that I don't know, I'm guessing.
Oh, right. Isn't that a Broadway show now, too?
It is now, yeah.
Right.
And Travis also will be like, what? So I saw it with Travis, Upstate, Crystal Connection, shout out. Okay.
Yay. Oh, so please.
We always watch the cartoons together. That's what I call them, the cartoons.
The cartoons. I love that. You know, that's the one thing I'm sad about my kids growing up because I have no excuse to watch the cartoons. But no, please tell us about the tourmaline again, because I thought that was so intense.
Right. So tourmaline in general, cleansing, aligns all the subtle bodies. I should say it's aligning and links the subtle bodies. And when I talk about the subtle bodies, I mean like the physical energy body, the emotional energy body, the mental energy body, and the spiritual energy body. It links all those subtle bodies, and some will go on beyond that, so that it creates this nice, strong shield around you, which actually lets things just fall. Like stuff that comes at you, it like falls back down. It goes away because you're strong in your energy, very aligned. And pink tourmaline is very much about trusting and love again. Green tourmaline, if you happen to have that in your piece, is very protective, and it's about growth. The lepidolite in the stone is a natural
hug.
Yes, it's very gentle and soothing. Actually, the tidbit in my book, I have a book, by the way.
Grandmother stone. Oh, yeah.
Grandmother stone, I know I will, but it's not easy to access at the moment. I think the tidbit was basically saying it's so nurturing that it's nicknamed grandmother stone because it's soothing and nurturing. But it's got trace amount of lithium in it. And so that trace amount of lithium within the purple mica, which is lepidolite is purple mica, it just helps to soothe and let go in a sense. And it's very nurturing. And it's botroidal, which helps things to sort of I guess not all of them are botroidal, but there's a lot of botroidal energy, which is letting things go up and flow out. When it's in a stone like this, it's brecciated more, it's broken up, and that's good for cleansing away and also bringing in nature spirits. So cleansing in that regard, but it's more about peace and calm. And that was very much the energy I got holding this, was just like a sigh, a release.
That's exactly.
And it's not a big deal. That's what I said, right? Yeah, it's not a big deal. Whatever it is, it's not a big deal.
Like washing your clothes.
And then the smoky quartz helps you. The smoky quartz helps you to release. Why am I having deja vu? The smoky quartz helps you to release and dump all the excess to the earth. So that's the like draining down.
That was the draining.
And then the moonstone is new beginnings and cycles of life and intuitive wisdom and like flashes of intuition. So all of those energies are present in the stone, and it just really came through as like kind of like a hug, but not a hug for me so much as a release, just a and it's all okay. It's all gonna be okay.
It's all okay, right? It's like the spring forward. Keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. It's all gonna be fine. Next year is gonna look so different than this year. So different than this year. We're still going through it. Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy year.
Get your unicorn stone. Let's do the other ones, the rubelites. Can we do those?
The rubelites with the moonstone? With the aquamarine?
Yeah,
okay.
I would love to do that.
All right. Yeah, because we haven't done that, right?
No, we haven't.
You want a big one or what?
I don't know. Just pick one.
I'll bring a few.
Okay.
I'll bring 5.
Just in case. Okay. I love these.
All right,
so much.
So this one has it on the bottom. I'm going to show that one.
Okay.
These pieces are just so, you can show one over there if you want to.
Oh, wait.
These pieces are just so beautiful.
I'm going to show this one.
It's the rubelite, which is sort of a reddish pink tourmaline in moonstone, which would, I mean, most people will say that it's a white moonstone, which would, I mean, most people will say that it's a white albite, but white albite is a feldspar. It's essentially a moonstone. And a lot of these have a little bit of a shimmer on them, like moonstone. So to me, it's moonstone and aquamarine.
rotate them.
And it's funny they call the other pieces unicorn stones because honestly, to me, these feel
These
more
are more like
unicorn
I agree.
stones.
I agree. They're magical.
They are magical, and it's not something you would see very often with
Look
the.
at that aquamarine. It's so gemmy. Oh
So
my God.
maybe I'm going to call this unicorn stone 2.
Laurel's unicorn stone.
Or Laurel's
because
unicorn.
you know what? The unicorn stone phrase for that
It
name,
didn't feel
it
right
came
to
from,
me.
but it doesn't feel right for me. And I realized when I was researching it for the elixir, it came from a crystal dealer.
Yeah.
You know, like a crystal seller. So I don't know
All
why.
of the names do.
Oh.
Generally come from either the person who discovered it or someone who just nicknamed it.
So it's
Because it's a conglomeration of stones and there's no official name for it. So someone just nicknamed it unicorn stone because that's how it felt for them.
Why can't you call this unicorn stone? Laurel's unicorn stone.
I'm going to call it unicorn stone 2.
And is this one okay? So then, did you talk about the little bit of golden mica?
Oh no, some of them have this beautiful golden mica on it.
Does this one?
But I don't.
This one. This one has a lot of sparkle, but I'm not sure if it's.
I think the ones with the golden mica I left up there because they're not as much. Meryl got a really pretty one.
I did. I had the best one.
She got the only one that really had a lot of the golden mica on it. It's
but this has so mica in it.
Yeah.
It definitely has mica. So
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to just keep here so
okay.
you could hold your quartz, right? And program it if anybody wants to program a quartz.
Yeah, so hold your quartz up.
The one thing about these rubelites I observed was that the tourmaline in these, although it's not so clear on the camera maybe, but they are so pink. And usually the rubelites are more kind of red, maybe a little, darker, and maybe these are just super juicy pink. They're gorgeous.
Well, and oftentimes there's lower grade. We'll get lower grade rubelite in Moonstone that just doesn't pop quite as much as these pieces do. These are just really. When I saw them, I gasped.
They're so gorgeous.
I was like,
So if you have a quartz crystal handy, your quartz crystal, just kind of clear it. However you clear your quartz crystal, I sometimes just blow on it to clear it. If you don't have sage, that scared me. And then just program it with this mineral.
Yeah, just ask it to be infused with this energy frequency. Okay. And then meditate with us. Okay. We have the shortest meditations known to me.
We really do, but they come kind of quickly.
No, it does. The information comes quickly.
For all of those people. For all of those out there, I mean, if I'm going into like a deep meditation and I'm really getting downloads, it can be longer, but to get to know a stone, it doesn't have to be.
It can just be really quick, especially once you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, it's true. It takes a while to get to that.
Sometimes you're like, I don't feel anything at the beginning, and that's okay. It takes sometimes a year or so.
More for me. Really, like when did I take my crystal class with you? The certification was a long time ago.
6 years ago.
So it's now this. I intuitively, I had the knowing, right? The intuitively used the crystals, and it was great to have and I had more knowledge. But it's only now, honestly,
like the past year,
past 2 years,
maybe, past 2 years
that I've been able to hold a crystal and hear what it says or get more of a download and a message. I'd say actually since I started making the elixirs, because I was
that's what I was thinking. You were starting to experience it. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, just give yourself
3 years
permission. Yeah, I guess 3 years. 2.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I didn't really start getting messages until I started doing crystal healing with people. I mean, I took classes and I was around people who were like, "Oh, let me just feel it." But it wasn't until I started working with them in a way that they started communicating with me because I was using them for work.
Yeah.
This kind of work. By doing crystal healings with people.
Because you're getting healing too.
Yes. Yeah. And also they would just tell me where they wanted to go and who wanted to come out and where they wanted to go. And that's when they started communicating with me, because then we're doing the work. And same thing like with you and grids though. Weren't you starting to get communications with them when you were doing the grids?
You know what? I forget.
Yeah,
it's so true. Oh my God.
Or when you're making jewelry,
true.
if you make jewelry, you're working with the stone, and it's time spent with the stone, and you start
That's true.
getting your energy starts getting infused with that stone, or making grids with them. You're just playing with the crystals, and you start just getting
And you
ideas and feelings, and
You feel the difference between this in the middle and like, which I put in the middle. That in the
oh,
middle.
that's really
That
nice.
is really nice. But you feel the difference of the energies, right? Like, oh, and this one, remember?
Oh yeah, very different.
Oh,
It was almost too much.
It's so uncomfortable. So anyway, you can get all of this information.
Now it's naked.
The unicorn in there.
Yeah, I felt
Yeah.
So I like the dendritic.
I do too. So anyway, you feel it. Like I say making grids and just playing with the crystals.
Yeah, the more you play with them and sort of commune with them in a sense, the more they will communicate with you. And you may think that you're not getting messages, and you are. So just trust
even
it.
if it looks bad. Like even we were talking about amongst ourselves earlier, we were talking about visual information.
Oh yes.
Right? And so
important.
So by putting that bumblebee jasper in the middle here, to me visually, it's so caustic looking that that's information. That's information. Or like the stones clash. It's information. Visually, if they're clashing, they're probably clashing energetically. They're not in resonance.
But we think it's just the look, but honestly, it's a whole feeling that we're getting. It's like when you're walking down the street and someone turns the corner that has an energy that is frightening for you. You immediately sense it, and you may think you immediately sense it, and you may think it's the way they look, but oftentimes that will belie what's going on. The way they look doesn't seem like how you suddenly feel. And so there is information that comes through the eyes that is energetic. And so I used to feel bad because people would hold their hands over the stones and be like, I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to feel the energy. And I was like, I don't get that. And I was like, I'm very visual, I guess. And I realized I was picking up information through my eyes, energetic information through my eyes. And I was getting direct messages. And I just knew what to go to. And like, it's the same when people go to a crystal shop. And like, sometimes people will be here and they'll be like, oh, this is new. You didn't have this last time I was here. And I was like, oh, no, I had that. You just didn't see it yet. And so we really are drawn to what we need. And so it's coming into trusting that, letting go of not trusting yourself, and coming into your power, really shining your light, and moving forward in a new way where you're like, I do get this information. I just have to trust it. And that can really change things. And it came up because we were looking at these guys, which are opalites. These are human created designs using silicate, which is in quartz, like a sand, a special method. So we were talking about this, and part of this, there is information that comes through these, but part of it is visual. There's a really ethereal nature to it, all these bright colors that are shining at you, and you're getting information with each flash of color that comes through. And it's the mixture of how the colors play together. It kind of reminds me of astrology because in astrology, what they're really starting to understand is it's the configurations, and how when the planets are in certain configurations, it creates certain geometric structures, and it's the way they play off of each other in the New Science of Heaven with Robert Temple, right?
Yeah, it's a plasma.
Yeah. He is an astronomer, right?
He was
scientist.
He's a scientist. He was an Egyptologist. He seems like he's everything. I mean, he's pretty.
But he also is not closed off to astrology and more metaphysical and spiritual understandings. And so you listen to the whole book.
I haven't even been able to finish it yet because without a science background, it's very heady. And I listen on Audible, the book, And so a lot of times I keep going back to make sure I understand what he's talking about. So it's taking me a long time.
But if you're interested in the new science
So
of heaven,
great book.
and the science and the and how it relates to astrology or metaphysics, you can check out Pam Gregory's interview with Robert Temple from like a year ago, maybe.
I think it was about a year ago.
Almost a year ago. Really excellent interview, and he goes into this idea that it's about how everything relates to each other. And so when you're looking at a stone that has more than one color in it and it's bouncing off of each other, it's color in it and it's bouncing off of each other. It's creating these patterns and visuals that bring information into you, whether you're consciously aware of what that is or not, doesn't matter.
Well, it's the light frequencies, and
It's
then
light
we have the
frequencies.
cones in our eyes and how that like all interacts with.
So now we're gonna get back to
Okay, unicorn stone.
So
Laurel's
just-
unicorn stone.
Unicorn stone too.
Unicorn stone too.
Unicorn stone blue.
Oh, I love that.
No, but the blue, I don't know. Anyway,
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
figure it out.
right.
So, so just ask your crystal to hold these frequencies, and let's take a moment with it. Oh yeah, if you want to, if you feel called to, put it on your third eye, your heart, your solar plexus, your root, wherever you feel called. See how the stone feels. No, because I totally forgot the message already, and I was like, I had to go back in and ask for the message again. So
Okay, I didn't get a message yet. You want to talk about it? Oh, you're not.
well, no, go ahead. Everyone, take another moment.
Thank you. It made me want to cry.
Oh.
No, in a beautiful way though.
Yeah.
It when I put it up on my crown, I know this sounds so corny. I can't believe I'm doing this on video, but or on live. But I got like mommy, like just the mommy energy, not mother, not So it was a mommy, and I was like, well, is it for me? And it felt like it was for me, not me being a mom, but it felt like for me that
For your mommy?
Yeah, like when you're feeling sick and you want your mommy kind of thing.
Aw.
That's what makes me want to cry. It's that. That's what I felt from this. Anyway.
Well, how did that
I mean, it was nice. It was beautiful. And then it was kind of a let it go, let it flow kind of energy. That I got that message too. I got that message before the mommy message. I know y'all think I'm so loony. But
it's okay, they're all loony, that's why they're here.
But as soon as I put it on my crown, for some reason, it was like, maybe it was like an angelic
yes
connection. I don't think it was a mommy connection. I think it was like
I got
angelic.
a celestial connection.
That's
I also
what it
got
was.
it's all going to be okay,
So
which
I
is
got
so similar to the other one in a way. It's not a big deal, but they do have similar
Similar
minerals
stuff,
within them. But this one was more like it's going to be okay. But anyway, finish yours.
So,
I
no,
took
I'm
notes
just
so I
saying
won't forget.
we both are similar. So this is how it is with us, right?
Yeah.
Like mine is let it go, let it flow, and yours is everything's
It's all
going to
be okay.
Similar.
And I got the sense all of it, like even the things that I might not like,
Yeah.
even things that might be like getting a kick in the pants, it's still all going to be okay. Which in the big picture, spiritually, obviously, it's all going to be okay. But
it was
it
really
did kind of
clear.
feel like that, like
Yes.
it's all going to be okay.
Let it go, and that's what I think the mommy like that. Okay. So yes,
It was like comforting.
Yes, and it was like I said, how you want to go to your mom when you don't feel well. It's because they say, "Oh, it's going to be okay," and they take care of you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like pet you on the head, you know. But it was an angelic being doing that.
I totally got angelic being as well. Anyway. So maybe it's the aquamarine.
Oh,
that's what I was wondering because of the blue. So light blues often will connect us to the celestials, the celestials, the angelics.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And even the Palladians at times. So, which are kind of
maybe they're patting my head.
Maybe, yeah. So when I was holding it, it's also had that sort of. It wasn't as much of the release as the original unicorn stone for me, but it was soothing in a sense. It was just, it's not soothing in the same way. It was like, it felt good. But I felt the energy go to my throat first and sort of start like pushing through my throat. And I was like, oh, it's aquamarine does this thing where it moves energy from your heart opens up your throat, right? It's about breakthroughs. And so I felt that it was trying to sort of break through but it kept going. It went up through my mind. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then up through my crown and then up to the celestial realms. And I had a definite connection with the celestials. And I felt like when I was asking for a message to come through, that I was talking to a being of the stone.
Oh,
I felt like I was talking to a being connected with the stone, either in the stone or of the stone in some way. But if you take classes with me, this is something that comes up, that there is often a being within the stone that you can a consciousness within the stone that you can communicate with. And so that's what it was. It was a celestial consciousness to communicate with. And I got, when I asked for a message, I love you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then I got all is well, which I'm like, oh, maybe it's Louise Hay talking to me. No, I'm just kidding. I just thought that. I did not think that during the meditation. But all is well is one of the mantras that is used quite a bit with Louise Hay's new thought patterning messages. So anyway, I love you, all is well. And I really felt it. I really felt like this being was communicating this to me and saying this, which, we're working again with stones that it's similar stones within. And so it's interesting to see the similarities and the differences between the two. One with the lepidolite and smoky quartz, and one with the aquamarine. They do feel different. This one feels brighter, more activating.
I like this one. I personally, this one I liked better. The other one kind of felt a little bit.
But the other one was sort of flushing things out and giving you the neutral place to spring forward from.
I think that's true.
And this is like shooting the energy up, and
connecting with the divine. I also, you know what, you reminded me, because I actually was holding it at my solar plexus because that was a place that needed comfort. But I also had this urge when you were talking about flushing it out. I had this urge to sneeze a few times
while holding this.
Oh,
interesting.
And I felt like this really intense urge to sneeze. So maybe that was like part of a purging.
Right.
Yeah. I felt like very much that was. It's just like when I was choking with, well, not choking, but I had something in my throat with something else. I forgot what we were
earlier
using.
today. Yeah. It was the indigo aura quartz. Yes, we are wacky.
Oh my gosh. I know. Look at us. We're like all over. I don't want to put this one
down. All right.
Should
Should we do one more before we end? Or
Do you want to do one more?
Well, I don't know. What should we do? Or should we talk about the grid?
Oh, the grid's a work in progress.
Okay.
But we can talk about it if you want. I mean, do you want to talk about it?
I don't care. I was just trying to. It's so funny because literally, we just went through all these different aura courses, and then that brought us into the citrines.
Let's do the moonstones, plain old moonstones.
Yes. All right.
There.
We'll use the teeny. Okay, so we're using rainbow moonstones, which are more white to clear with blue flashes. You could also use, it would be slightly different, but you could also use common moonstone, which are the ones that are more of a champagne to peachy to orangey color, that just have a same colored sheen on them. But here is a rainbow moonstone. This is tiny little piece.
Very small.
You may not be able to see the blue flash on this one with the lighting not so great right now. But there are often little blue flashes, not always.
And I just really wanted to know if there's a difference. That's what I was thinking. Is there a difference between just the regular, plain old, straight up moonstone and these other two pieces, two unicorn stones? Sorry if I shook you all on Instagram.
I already started, sorry.
I know, that's okay. If you want another one, there's here.
I have to take this, excuse me.
Oh my gosh. I love that you started because you were like, I need this.
No,
I
didn't have an option. It was like meld.
Yeah, that's I felt that from you when you were like,
I was like showing it and I'm like, oh my God, I can't stop it.
It was like you needed
Yeah,
right away.
it was like it wanted to go into the middle of my brain.
Oh my gosh. Tell me what you felt.
Well, it just felt like a melding and a clearing. I just felt like a lot of clarity and, in a way, presence of moment and just openness to the now, which I don't usually necessarily get presence with this stone, but it just was like bringing me into, for right now, bringing me into presence. So when I laughed, because I was like, it was the energy that it was bringing me into, which was aligned and clear and present, ready to receive messages. And I just sort of got the ultimate in goddess wear.
I love that.
Which I think I've actually said about this stone before.
So
I'm not even
great.
sure. I may have put it in the book.
That's
but like
so
the
great.
ultimate goddess stone, because it really, it's a feminine stone in regards to helps you to understand cycles of life. It can teach you.
Vibrates to the moon.
Vibrates to the moon. So it can teach you about the cycles of life, the different times. It teaches you, though, at least for me right now, very much from a centered, present, open place. You know how it is when you're like, oh, I have to write it down to make sure I remember it. It's a real challenge sometimes to be like, okay, I'm not going to write it down. I'm just going to be in the present moment and trust that I know what I need to know in the present moment. And instead of getting caught up in my papers and what am I saying and what am I doing, just allowing you to be in that present moment and speak what needs to be spoken in that moment based on who's there with you. I'm thinking about when I teach, who's there with you and the information that needs to come through right then. Not that I don't occasionally look things up and stuff, I do, but it's just being able to be present is more powerful than always looking at your notes. And so it was bringing me into that place of true presence and being aligned with the moment and understanding also, I would say, in a sense, in some way, understanding just the cycles by understanding the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I got downloads as you were speaking too, because I was playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's like taffy. To me, I was rolling it in my hand, and it had like this feeling of taffy because they're tumbled. Yeah. But it's that malleability, that mutability that women have, that flexibility. There's not a rigidness. It's the I
got my womb opened up when you said that.
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm getting like total opening, and it's it's the matriarchal paradigm that we're moving into, away from the patriarchal way of doing business, of conducting ourselves, of that masculine kind of go. It's more of this like being in the flow. Like, oh, I'm getting tingles all over from that. And so that came through when you were talking, and I was just, and then the other message that came through that we've been joking about, right, is the new paradigm. Yes. Because it's this idea of that we have to enjoy ourselves. We have to find joy and pleasure in
it has
what
to
we
be
do.
fun.
It has to be fun for it to be successful. Success isn't necessarily going to always be measured in dollars and cents, but really in the joy in our hearts, and also doing things in community together. So that's also another thing. So anyway, those were all percolating as you were speaking. So.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people are like, well, I'm not getting messages, but there's so much information that's coming in that you wouldn't be able to determine what the message is.
Yeah.
It's like a melding, like this wanting to meld with my head, just a melding of information coming through, and you're getting energy frequencies, and maybe later you'll be able to discern, and maybe not. I don't always get a message with a stone.
No, me neither.
Although more and more lately I have been. But
a lot of times doing this a lot lately, yeah. So it's been kind of more.
A lot of times, though, I would meditate with a stone. I'm like, I didn't get a message at all, but I definitely felt the energy flowing through me. I definitely feel or sense things in a little different way, but it can't always verbalize what that is.
Well, that's what I felt at first, right? With this, I actually felt that I didn't know how to verbalize it. It was more physical sensations. So when I put it on my crown, I felt like there was this energy, like pulling, like a cartoon, pulling something off of me, energy off of me. And when I put it on my third eye, it was pulling something away from me. I can't explain it.
No,
like,
I kind of sense that too, but I think what I was experiencing it more as being in the present and open. But there is sort of a move, like I feel like moving
it was
energy,
moving. And like with my throat, it was like moving back. Anyway, it was.
I forgot to mention
pulling.
There's like it brought me into a place of knowingness. So I sort of explained around that, but knowingness really came through for me with this. Which is interesting because I feel like there are aspects of that moonstone energy, obviously, in the other two stones.
Yeah, but it was different.
But it was different because you're working with more than one stone.
Right.
That's why these are so magical, because anytime you've got more than one stone working together, it's like a prescription. It's like
an apothecary and a stone.
What do they call it? The magic of three?
Oh, I don't know.
What did they say on that TV show? The power of three. When you got a stone with the power of 3 or the power of 4 or the power of 5, and you know what that does? That makes me wonder about things like super 7s or like 23s. So this is how it usually goes. We're meditating with one, and I'm like, oh, well, what about this then?
Well, we got to do those the next time.
No. Let's do it the next time. I think this is a nice length, but yeah, maybe next time or sometime soon we will meditate. And you can let us know too what you would like us to meditate with. Like if there's something that you're like, okay, I get that. I'd really love to know what you get from this certain stone, either to help inform your own experience or to compare notes with us, which is what we're always doing, is comparing notes. Then yeah, drop a note. Again, we probably won't see the comments on Instagram that are live. So if you're on Instagram making comments, thank you and bless you. But make sure any messages, any questions you have, put them in my DM or in Meryl's DN at Joy Blended Healing, or you can put them in the comments on YouTube. And we are not doing this on a regular basis yet, but it is our plan to be doing this eventually, at least bi-weekly, if not weekly.
Yeah.
Because we love it. Of course, we're going into summer, and
who knows where everybody's going to be.
A lot of movement happens in summer. Yeah. So, but we're going to try to find some sort of set schedule so we can let you guys know in advance. And otherwise, you can always check it out after the fact. I am Laurelle Rethke of 5 Sense Healing and the Faerie Den, and the book Connecting with Crystals. Here, I will grab it this time. Connecting with Crystals, crystal wisdom and stone healing for body, mind, and spirit. And you can find this on my Instagram in the link in bio, and you can also find my website through the link in bio.
It's my favorite book.
And probably, I think
it is. That's crystal book.
A lot of wonderful people in my life who say that.
It is. It's a really good book. So,
and we can find you.
Oh, you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Joy Blended Healing. And my website, which is not updated,
but it will be soon with these new
2 new elixirs.
The new paradigm elixirs.
The new paradigm. The Cosmic Gem Waters, which was on
Cosmic Gem Waters
on a vision board. How feminine is that to come up with the name of your new product? Right. Anyway, you can find me at Joy Blended Healing. My website, joyblendedhealing.com. I know it's a mouthful. And yes, and you can find grids and elixirs and yeah.
And I mean, you have the ability to teach about grids and
yeah.
And what else?
I've taught about grids and gem waters.
That was the new class.
That was the new
gem
class.
Waters.
Yeah. I want to start teaching about gem elixirs and showing you all how to make your own. So it's really fun, and I get a tremendous benefit. I've been working with these now since I've started creating them, and it's kind of been a healing journey for me, as I hope it is for you, and you can do the same.
So many blessings to all of you who've tuned in. Thank you so much. We love you so much, and we will see you next time on Playing with Crystals.
Yay!
Peace and blessings.
Okay, I'm not going to, well, you have to turn
We
off
have to
your-
end the stream.
Okay.